Well, now to Krista Spahn, a huge hospital whose decisions affect everyone. Now, tonight we continue our exclusive look at a big change to the hospital's anesthesia services. 6 Investigates has obtained another leaked internal memo from Spahn President Justin Doss, and it raises new questions about the new anesthesia group the hospital has hired and why Spahn attempted to misrepresent both its origins and identity. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Rick Spruill.
Learning the difference between a national anesthesia firm and something else isn't hard. Just go online. A good example is North Star Anesthesia. Founded by and for anesthesia professionals, they provide anesthesia professionals like doctors and nurses. An example of a company that isn't founded by and for anesthesia professionals is EmergencHealth. EmergencHealth provides logistics, data, billing, payroll. And it's a difference Krista Spahn refuses to acknowledge. You might remember this. It's that Spahn memo someone leaked to us from inside the hospital, dated March 13th. That's when Spahn President Justin Doss announced the decision to replace Gulf Shore Anesthesia, that's a local group of about 45 doctors and nurses, with a national firm called EmergencHealth. And as we reported, the medical community's reaction was essentially, who's EmergencHealth?
It came up with basically the same information you got, which is a web page that's being built, a doctor who shows up on the Texas Medical Board license search as an established pulmonary critical care doctor, but that's about it.
For Dr. Hensley, getting to the bottom of this matters not just because the words national firm imply a certain level of credibility and depth, but also because Spahn runs, in part, on millions of your taxpayer dollars.
They get taxpayer money to take care of citizens. They should be upfront about what they're doing with that.
And since then, even more proof that EmergencHealth is not only not a national firm, they're about as local as you can get. Their name, the creation of a former Krista Spahn physician who registered it with the state barely a year ago. Then, 3 months later, a second physician came along, bought the name, and bid the Spahn Anesthesia Services contract. Turns out really the only thing national about EmergencHealth is its relationship with EmergencHealth. And as we've already shown, EmergencHealth is many things, but what they are not, nor do they claim to be, is a national anesthesia group. A Spahn spokesman tells us these distinctions are unimportant, emailing 6 Investigates that our reporting hinges on the semantic use of the word national in an internal memo sent over 2 months ago. And yet, when we asked EmergencHealth's new medical director about Spahn's use of the word national, he referred us back to Spahn.
That's how the hospital would come to say national firm. It's EmergencHealth is the national firm behind EmergencHealth.
I would ask you to ask Krista Spahn why they put that wording in, but that is...
We did. They sent you.
And then a few hours after that interview, Spahn's story changed. Several sources leaked this memo to us almost the moment it went out last Friday evening. It's from Spahn President Justin Doss to all medical staff, and it announces that Spahn's contract for anesthesia is now finalized. But in this new memo, a couple of small changes from the first one sent in March. It's not EmergencHealth, after all, it's EmergencHealth. And the only thing national about them is their relationship with EmergencHealth. And in the space between the two memos, only a few possible conclusions. Either Spahn's leaders did not know the firm they initially claimed was national really is just a bunch of locals who've created a brand new company, or they did know and didn't want you to know. There's a possible third conclusion. Spahn's leaders truly don't think it matters, and that it is simply a case of semantics. But no matter which conclusion fits, the question remains why Spahn didn't make all these things clear from the beginning. After all, anesthesia isn't some back office function, and how Spahn goes about delivering it truly is a matter of life and death.
With the drugs we use, you could kill a healthy person within minutes.
Spahn has repeatedly reassured us that a highly qualified group of physicians, community leaders, and other people vetted and chose EmergencHealth over a long list of other candidates. So earlier this week, we asked for the names of the individuals that made up that highly qualified group, and Spahn's response: that information is private. Rick Spruill, 6 Investigates.
Now, in keeping with our commitment to transparency, both of Spahn's memos and all of the emails between Spahn, EmergencHealth, and Chris 6 News are available for viewing on our website.